And welcome back to another episode of What If, well, this is actually a series. We're doing a normal video today. And as you can see, I'm using a new map that I just got from Map Chart. It's a pretty cool website. I would recommend it. But yeah, this one is not Anti-Alice. I don't know, I just like that style better. But I have two versions of it. And today we're going to be using this version. Because just like Atus Pro did, we are going to be creating our own borders for a continent. Specifically, North America. Now, I get there isn't a whole lot to do here, but I think we can go ahead and start off. Let's say there were colonies here once. I don't know what the story is. But we can go ahead and start drawing in borders. Maybe we add some zigzags, some lines, go around to here. And then this whole area up here is just one whole country. But we can do more than that. Let's see. We can have a Newfoundland country that has a lot of areas. Maybe something like this. And boom, it's already coming together. Our colors, we got a red country and a blue country. And now I want to say before we really get into the video that I don't really want to copy him as much. This is probably going to be one of the last things. I just thought this was a really cool concept. So, I went ahead and I got a new map. It took me a long time to make, so I do hope you like it. But, I am going to try to get into my own type of content more now. But let's just keep drawing lines down. This is a very more pixelated map, so I can do a little bit more details. Do little zigzags there. Okay, that's too much of a straight line, but you get the idea. Borders of our next country. So I think this country will be a little bit more of a purple color, or maybe actually we can do more of a yellow color, something like that. These kind of remind me of Easter colors because they're kind of dimmed down, they're faded a little bit. And, there's quite frankly nothing wrong with them. But, I think these guys are going to have a few islands up here. Not too much. But, all this land right here, we're going to have to give it to somebody. Now, it doesn't look the best, so we might need to touch it up a little bit. Give that area to them. And then we can do another country that goes maybe down right here, but they don't have that area up to this river. So now with the new borders, it looks something more like this. And this new country's color is going to be a lime green, kind of like this. And this actually looks pretty good, I think. But from here on out, a lot of these countries are going to start being bigger. Here we have our next country, which we're going to make a purple color. And this color, it's a very good color. Not really much to say about the color. But the borders show that these guys are pretty strong, actually. These guys are really strong. Out of all the people, all the countries here, probably the strongest, if not the red team. These two are probably the top. But after this, there's going to be a lot more smaller countries. And I know there's a lot less opportunities over in America to draw countries than over in Europe. It's just way more detailed, I feel like. So, even though I'm not doing that scenario, I hope this one is still fun. Because next, we have a very, very big country. They're going to start over here. They're going to have all this lake. Oh, a little straight line there, I don't know. Maybe add something here. Oh no. Just change it up occasionally. Then we'll lead it all the way over to open states. Now that's a pretty straight border. Maybe we add some dips. And boom, that's basically how you make a border. You see something you don't like about it, and you change it. And then you keep trying if it doesn't work. Yeah, that does not work. Okay, we don't want a box either. Something like that might work a little bit better. Looks a little bit round. That'll work. So now we have our gigantic country here. But there's going to be, I think, probably two. There's probably going to be in Alaska. We kind of have to because that is a lot of land. But it's not going to be like main Alaska. It's going to be like the edge over here, kind of. All of that. So now we have Nunavut and Alaska. We've appointed them their colors, and these guys are pink. Where the color in all their territory here. You probably have most of this here. But actually, you know what? No. To make this interesting, this island is going to be split 3 ways. Yes, I said 3. Because this area right here will be owned by the blue team, and this one will be owned by the yellow team. So I don't know, maybe they were competing for land. Maybe like a land race. Something. They were doing something up here. Something happened. Maybe there was like a war where these two teamed up against the purple team. Or the pink team, I guess. But now, the rest of the land will go to them. Besides for this very northern island up here, most of it will not be owned by them. But the rest of the land will be owned by them. Because Greenland is down here. Oh, Greenland will be here. Because we're not at them. We got orange, and I think we're actually going to give them Iceland too. So, just like Aegis Pro did, he had them, even though they have territory in other areas, you still include all their territory. So they have Iceland, but we have to move on into the southern United States. The star of the show, and it's kind of like a Louisiana, Florida, probably like Mississippi or Alabama type of country. But it'll be over here, and it's, as you can tell, very big. And it'll span all the way down into California, or into Mexico. I don't know where California came from. These guys will be a dark red color. I don't like that. We're not going to change that to something, yeah, something less bright. But there we go. So now we have another country on the map, and these guys are definitely the strongest so far. But, I don't know, it looks kind of circular for me. And they are the strongest, so, or at least so far. So we're going to have to give them a little bit more land. Now it's not giving oval. It's what? Now it looks better. And, we still have a little gap over here. So I think we need to add some smaller countries. Because, the smallest country we've added so far is this green country here. And that needs to change. Here we have 2 countries. I don't know their colors yet. Maybe we can give one like a light green kind of color, and the other one maybe like a cyan color. That'll work. Oh, I'm on my phone. Okay. And then I also drew one for Vancouver over here. So maybe we give these guys like also like a greenish blue as well. And there must have been a war over here. Maybe like these guys had all the way up to here or something. As well, like all these islands. But Alaska probably won, it looks like. And they took over some islands and stuff. So there's that. But there are definitely going to be a few smaller countries. Like there's going to be one right here, definitely. That's not going to be the biggest. But, you know, it's still going to be a fairly great size. We will need to change these colors up for that. Another country over there. And I think we're going to move on down to Baja California for this next one. Which, these guys, I think, we'll draw them in pretty strong, actually, too. These guys are probably the second strongest, and, yeah. So far on the map, they would definitely be the second strongest with how I'm about to draw them. But, yeah. These guys definitely probably scare Florida anyway. And, this looks strong. But it doesn't look strong enough, so I think we need to extend the borders up here a bit, if they're going to be the second strongest. Something like this looks like it'll be fine. So here is Baja California. And we'll give these guys a, nope, a blue color here. Lighter than the one up here, so you know, it'll work. But these guys are going to be the second strongest, like I said. And in between here, they're going to have quite a few buffer states, just in case. 3 big buffer states here. I took away some land from these guys, because these guys are looking pretty strong right now. They're looking a little too strong, so I kind of nerfed them a little bit. But for now, we have 2 more countries. You know, here's a color. It always gets me. We'll go ahead and do one of these. I don't know where that other color went. And then we need another kind of different color scheme here. We like a blue. The purple would work just fine too, so I think that's what we're going to use. To right. There we go. So now we got these 3 countries over here, which are basically just buffer states in between these 2 nations. But yeah, down south though, there will be another strong country. And this country looks strong, but it really isn't. It's pretty weak. It's just pretty large. That's about it that's going on with these guys. But there's a little bit of the Yucatan Peninsula that isn't owned by them. And that's because the Louisiana actually has all that land right there. Which is crazy to think about. But yeah, it's all owned by them. It looks like a better color. Now for, let's say, a red right here. So there's one other country right here. You know, it's not that strong, but you know, it could put up a fight with these guys. Maybe like Mexico, not the other 2, not at all. The only country that could put a fight with these 2 are themselves, because like the number 3 would probably be one of these 2, and they're probably way weaker from what I've seen, or what I'm saying. But now we have another coast. Ugh. We have another country right here that goes down the coast. And here was my plan. I was going to have something like a big body over here, and then like a tail. Or something like this, maybe. You know, so like coast. They have all that. They have all this, too. I don't know. But there's not enough coast to work with. So maybe we give a little bit of territory to West Mexico. And a little bit. Maybe we extend their border a little bit of both of these guys. You know what? We'll do it. So the border has just been extended. You know what? It doesn't look bad. We definitely could have done something with the old one, but kind of just needed that. But anyway, we need to get back into the center here, as there's going to be a few more countries here. We can just draw them really quickly. We got one over here. I think we're going to need to add one right around here. You know what? Actually, I like these borders. Actually, these are pretty nice. We'll add another one here, and then 1 or 2 last, I guess. This north one will be split up once again. What's going on over here? I have to fix that. But yeah, so we have, once again, a lot more countries in the center here. Giving them all colors, I think we need to swap these 2. So, you know, I think it would look better. Yeah, that looks okay. But, down to the last final part of this area, we're probably going to have a few more countries. Of course, they're going to be a little bit smaller. We're going to have one that's sort of big, and then we have the one It actually goes down into here, but it's centered. It isn't really centered around Panama, but it has land in North America, so we have to include it. And then all these countries, these islands up here, are going to be split between two different nations. One being Cuba, which will have a little piece right here. And then I'll have another piece right there. And then the other one being Hispaniola, having Puerto Rico, and several other of these small little islands. Now to give all these guys colors. And here are our colors. So, I don't know what happened to these guys' color. We're going to have to fix that. But we got pink, some yellow, green, and purple. And then the Florida, Louisiana guy has a little bit of the Bahamas, like half of it split down the middle. But yeah, so all North America's colored. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed today's video, show support. I know it was probably a little bit of a shorter one, but I really enjoyed making this. So yeah, if you want to see more videos like these, show support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.